Before you came, Chris, we were using flood irrigation, and now here you are, you're installing drip irrigation for us. What are some of the advantages of drip irrigation over flood irrigation? We are planting about 17,000 plants of tomato. That was engineer Chris Gunbura, and he was just mentioning some advantages of using drip over other means of irrigation. What's up, Mr. Zim family? Today I am back in my village in Chitoa. Last time you came here we had flood irrigation, so now we are installing drip irrigation to improve the farming methods, as you shall see. So I'm taking you through the field, guys, and we are planting tomatoes, right? And yeah, we're using drip irrigation. I don't know if you can see it behind me there. Those are the drip lines that we have here. All in all, we are planting about 17,000 plants of tomato. 17,000 plants, guys, that's no joke, right? And that's a little over half a hectare. I'll take some drone shots over the field so that you do see, you know, what we're doing here. This is what we now have on the farm. These are ball valves, right? So with the valves you can determine which drip lines you want to use for which section of the field. So what we do is we put up ridges, right? And on each ridge we put a drip line, and we then put plants 30 centimeters apart along the ridge. Because the holes in our drip lines are 30 centimeters apart, so each plant will get water individually. You can see in the distance there we have people planting tomatoes. So far we've done about 13,000 plants, and today we intend to plant another 4,000 plants to get to the 17,000 plant mark. So this is how we farm, guys, and we're not a commercial farm here, guys. This is our village. This is my rural village in Masvingo Province. So very soon we're going to have to open up the water, because obviously our crops will dehydrate and dry up, they'll wither. But we've been fortunate enough to have some rainwater, so the ground below is quite wet. Yeah, if you dig below here you'll see that the ground is quite wet underneath. So on the other side of the field there across, after the tomatoes, we're gonna put again 15,000 plants of cabbage in a week's time or so. So we're doing the land preparations there, putting the fertilizers so along and everything, the herbicides and things like that. So the reason why our ridges are so spaced out is when the tomato grows, it's going to be like a tree, and we need enough space to walk between the rows and be able to harvest tomatoes and spray any pest we might see and things like that. If you also farm tomatoes and you see something that we might be doing wrong that needs improvement, please don't hesitate to drop a comment and let us know you know, how we can improve, how we can go about it. You know, when I made the last video, I was using we were using flood irrigation, and someone actually recommended drip irrigation, and we did our research about drip, and here we are, guys. We're using drip irrigation, and it's going to be the first crop ever using drip irrigation. So maybe I will do another video later on when the crop is grown, just to see the effectiveness of drip, because we did tomatoes before with the flood irrigation, and didn't go well. But it wasn't about the water, it was just about our lack of knowledge, you know. So we learn every day and we continue to learn. Open to learning, guys. Here with me, guys, I've got Chris Gunbura. He's the one who's putting drip irrigation for us here in our field. So guys, this is Chris. So yeah, Chris, I'm going to ask you a few questions. Before you came, Chris, we were using flood irrigation, and now here you are, you're installing drip irrigation for us. What are some of the advantages of drip irrigation over flood irrigation?
Currently, drip irrigation is the modest way to irrigate. So, in other words, it's well developed, well improved. When it comes to efficient, let me demonstrate. Okay. When it comes to drip, it is labor cost free.
Oh, it's cost effective, huh?
Yeah.
Those are valves, right?
Then we have number one valve. Why drip is too effective to irrigate with is because currently
you have water going directly on the plant. Oh, and it's dripping onto the plant. That's why it's called drip.
It's called drip. Okay.
So
when it's irrigating, it goes deep down because it's irrigating slowly, drop by drop. Okay. So we encourage farmers to use drip irrigation. So when you're using drip, your plants grow up quickly from it.
That was engineer Chris Gunbura, and he was just mentioning some advantages of using drip over other means of irrigation. It's cost effective, and you only put water on the plant, you know, so you don't get to feed the weeds with water and so on. And he said quite a lot of things. But if you want Chris to come and install irrigation on your farm, I will leave his number in the description box so that he comes to your farm and he actually installs an irrigation, irrigation according to your needs. He is doing it according to the tomatoes we want to plant and according to cabbage. So if you're doing any other crop, he will do it for you, according to your requirements. And he doesn't cost an arm and a leg. You know, it's quite affordable actually. I was surprised at his cost. So I'll leave his number in the description box, so that he comes and does an assessment of your farm and tells you the need. Yeah. But the other advantage, the main advantage he mentioned was that when you use drip irrigation, your labor cost, the labor intensity improves so much, because all you have to do is to open a valve, one of these valves over here. You just open a valve here, one of these valves, like right now it's open, and you water the whole field just by turning a valve. So your staff will have a lot more time on their hands to do other things. So what we have here is we have a 10,000 liter tank, and the 10,000 liter tank will be irrigating the whole field of 17,000 tomatoes, as well as 15,000 cabbages you're going to have. So what you need on your farm really is just a borehole and a water tank. This side has just been installed this morning. So you see, this is what we have here. So we've got these pipes underground, and we have those outlets there. So I'm just gonna open here. I'm gonna open here, and the water will begin to sprout out like that. The water is coming from the storage tank underneath, overhead, the green tank you saw. And this is where we get water to put in the drip pipe. So we're going to have ridges right across this field here, like we did the other side where we planted tomatoes. So this is the other part of the field where we're going to put our cabbage. So we'll have to do a comparison, because last time our cabbage was farmed using the flood irrigation scheme, which the engineer Chris said it was not very efficient when it comes to water, because it wastes a lot of water. A lot of water is lost through evaporation. So we're going to plant cabbages on the ridges you see here, and we'll plant them 30 centimeters apart so that each cabbage will get a drop of water. So guys, I'm going to end it here. I hope you got a bit of inspiration from what we're trying to do here in the rural area. Mr. Zimie, guys, signing out. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and yeah guys, see you on the next one.